to introduce Greg Cruz to you. He came to my class in 2019, and he also brought brush, and we had fun clipping and pruning. He graduated from Penn State University with a Bachelor's of Science in Landscape Design, and he's been an ISA certified arborist for 12 years. He's a tree risk assessment qualified arborist and has worked at True Timber for a year, and prior to that, he was with Bartlett Tree Experts for 13 years. He loves trees, obviously.
I do.
Tell that. And he feels so extremely lucky to have a career in caring for trees. So I know you guys are going to thoroughly enjoy his presentation today and some hands-on. So welcome, Greg.
Thanks. Yes, so I've been doing this since I graduated college in May of 2008, so I'm coming up almost on 14 years, having been an arborist. I do love trees. I got a big old tree tattooed on my back. It's just kind of part of who I am. And I really enjoy talking. You're going to find that out. I just kind of talk and talk and talk. So this is just a good fit for me. I love trees. I like talking. I can share my knowledge with people. And again, I think you just stepped in. I want you to be the guy who stumps me today. I want a good question that I can't answer. Is that fair?
What do you call a tree when you cut it down?
A stump? Well done. Well done. Essentially, pruning is so much better taught hands-on rather than just looking at a PowerPoint screen. So instead, you get to just look at me, and then we'll do hands-on. If you guys are taking notes, I want you to learn a couple things. Like the most important things you can take away from today are the terms branch collar and the 1/3 rule. If you understand branch collars and the 1/3 rule, you have like 90% of pruning done. You know, like that's really the science of pruning. There's a lot of art and skill that you develop over time, but from a book-learned point of view, branch collars, 1/3 rule, and it's going to get you almost the entire way. So I will harp on those multiple times, and I have stuff to bring in. That's when we'll take a break. And I believe, can I set that camera up in the back and so people can see it? We'll probably do that at some point too, just because I have some really cool chunks of wood. What? This is awesome. Technology. Okay, so when you start thinking about pruning, the first thing that you need to think about is why you're pruning. If you go into pruning not even knowing the parts of a tree, but you haven't really grasped what you're trying to achieve, it's like driving with your eyes closed. You can't really have a direction or path to follow, and you also don't really have a goal in mind. You're just going out there to cut something. I, in my career, have seen lots of people who just cut stuff. It's just what they're supposed to do. I have somebody I live in the city of Richmond. I have somebody who shears their black gum. It's a city street tree and they shear it just because it's what they think they're supposed to do. That's not good pruning, but there hasn't been a lot of thought put into it. So we typically go through a couple categories of why we prune. One are we call them the 4 Ds. It's dead, diseased, damaged, decayed. So it's the stuff you just don't want on your tree. And when I would do this with a PowerPoint, there would usually be a tree pruning and shrub pruning. Honestly, tree and shrub pruning are almost the exact same thing. Most of us come across shrubs in our life, in our career, and they're pruned like shrubs. That's not good pruning. You should prune them like trees, or they're just not the right plant to put in. So you have the 4 Ds, dead, diseased, dying, decayed. Get those out. Doesn't matter when you do it. They're bad limbs. They're a source of dieback or decay in the tree, or they're dangerous. So there's never a bad time to take those out. There are a lot of pruning calendars. We'll talk about that. You don't ever have to worry about a pruning calendar. You don't have to worry about flowering. You don't have to worry about diseases. If it's already dead, get it out of there. Then we start thinking about what we want the tree to be. So it's kind of changed. There's something called ANSI Z133, and that's the American National Standards Institute that talks about pruning. They just updated things 2 years ago. We don't talk about thinning. We don't talk about cleaning. Is that the old one? Cool. That's the old one. I knew it was somewhere. Well, the nice thing is I'm already halfway through that presentation.
How efficient are you?
Thank you.